Oh. All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to live streaming my painting process. All right, so let's move this so it's center. I just went on vacation, so I did miss a streaming day, but we are back. I did not know I would be back today, so it's great. I'm glad to be here. All right. Let's look at the reference we're going to use today. I really liked this one. I found it. It's a goofy little kitty. And I thought, I could do that. So we have an 8x10 canvas today, or 10x8, depending on how you want to look at it. And, I've been really thinking, what colors do I want to use for this? I don't know. I've been using a lot of pink and blue lately, I feel like. Maybe it could be like a similar color palette to Blue Raz, my raccoon up there. He's kind of hiding, but But I also feel like I want like a bright background because he's a black cat. So I might use 2 colors today. Alright, I'm gonna get my black out. Maybe purple would be cute. Maybe purple in fluorescent pink. So got these 2 and then a black. So we're gonna go with it, see how it turns out. Okay. I think I want the background to be purple. But first things first, I'm going to drench my canvas. And I'm going to turn it around, do the back side. This is really the only prepping that I do. I know some people sand. Yeah, okay. Maybe I should do a little bit more. I want to make sure like the back is fully wet because there is a little bit of warping. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like right there and right here. And by adding the water, for some reason it just fixes it. I think it like makes the fibers tighten or something. I don't really know. All right. Let's just put some purple on the paintbrush. Oh, geez. All right. I wanted to do brighter colors with the black. I just really wanted the cat to stand out. Getting all the paint on the top. Oh, jeez. this side. No, I'm in the way. It's just hard to see all the way over there. Okay, cool. All right. That is good for right now. I'm gonna get a fan going on that. Let's see. That's fine. I might want to move it over actually. I didn't get the top very good. Let me fix that. All right, so let me show you guys what I made on vacation. So it was just my cousin and my grandma and I, and we decided we wanted to paint, and we went to the General Dollar because it was literally the only store that they had. We went to like a small town, and so paints were really bad and the brushes were really bad, but it was just a challenge, I guess. So this is what I made. Her name is what's it called? Sapphire. And I don't know. I just saw this lady with wings sitting on a mushroom on my head, and I was like, okay, let's do that. And it might be kind of hard to see like on this camera, but I'm gonna post what's the word, like shorts, and like I just started an Instagram. If you guys would like to follow me there, it's ahmackey_art, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, and I just wanted to show you guys. I'm gonna put this back on my wall. Yeah. So I wanted to go with a smaller canvas today. I'm so tired. I know, like, I want to paint, but maybe not something that would be forever. You know what I mean? Still gotta commit though, you know. And yeah, so The dogs were so happy when I came home yesterday. Oh my gosh, I've never seen Violet so emotional. I don't think I've ever been gone, at least not for that long. So it was pretty fun. Where we went, it was like a cabin. It was like up on like it was up on a mountainish thing, but it wasn't like as high as a mountain, I would say. It was certainly a drive, and it was kind of scary getting up there. And what was I gonna? Oh yeah, it was like really cold the entire time we were there. When my grandma looked at the weather before we left, and she said, "Oh, it should be in the 70s," but it was snowing and raining, and you know, kind of like an inside vacation, but it was worth it. I got to sit in a hot tub in the snow for the first time, and that was really fun. And I was a little worried I might like get frostbite or something like with my ears, but I guess it wasn't that bad. And yeah, it was a fun vacation. I did a lot of sleeping. We played Chameleon, a board game. We played 3 different games. They were all like card games. Oh yeah, and we were taught poker. We played Chameleon. If you guys don't know what Chameleon is, it's this game where like you have keys, like it'll have, we have 2 dice that we roll, and they're 2 different colors. So like one line up here is one color die that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the other one. And then it has like B4 or something like that. So then there's like another card that everyone looks at, and it has a category, and there's like rows like A, B, C, D, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if you're the chameleon, you pick up your cheat sheet card and it says chameleon, so you don't know like what word it is that they're trying to describe. So then the players go around and they like say a word or like 2 words that would describe what it is without giving it away. And then at the end of the round, everyone has to vote and see like who's the chameleon, you know what I mean? So that was really fun. If you guys like are into that kind of thing, I would suggest trying it out. And we also played Incoherent, which is really funny, and Priorities, and that seemed to keep us busy for the time that we spent there. But there was like literally nothing around. It was really funny. It was either like hiking or rock climbing or kayaking, like in some caves, and it was just too cold for that. So, but you know, we were still happy being inside. All right, this is good. I need to dry up the bottom right here. It's just kind of sitting in water. All right. Hey, honey. No. There we go. Pulled up some paint for some reason. Well, guess I'm gonna add more paint in the background anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. All right, let's get this cat on there. Okay, I'm just making sure my phone isn't gonna sit in the water. But luckily it's all gone. Okay. Normally I grab like a flat brush for sketching. I feel like it forces me to make like blocky shapes, and that's just something that I picked up, was that when, hold on, let me turn this fan off. When you're sketching out what you want to do, it's good to use like squares or like things with like corners, you know what I mean? Because it forces you to decide what the actual shape of the being is. And it just made so much more sense, because when you're thinking, oh, this thing is round, but where actually does it start turning? You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like it just forces you to make decisions about stuff, and it's just a good tip. Let's get some black out. Okay. All right. So the eyes are kind of like up here, but I also I don't know. Maybe I'll like do some of his body too. Maybe I'll make the head so big. I'm just overthinking it because it's a square reference. I don't know why I do this to myself. All right. So it looks like it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then the ears are like from here to here, and the other ear is very small, and it's like that. And maybe I'll fix it. This is just a sketch. And then from there, the nose is like here. That's like this shape. And then it goes down, and then this. And then there's a little blip. And then the muzzle is like this. And then there's a little chin. There's the chin area, and it will come down. And then the eyes are like straight. And this one has like, it's almost like right next to the nose. And it comes out. And then made it a little low. All right. I look so dumb right now, but maybe it's more like that. Look, Alex looks a little bit. And then I think I have misplaced the ear, so let's fix that. So with the eye, it's like here. And it comes in. But I also think I made the eyes a little too small, like compared to the reference. Because really, it goes up. And then maybe I just misplaced it. And then it's like up here. And then this goes down like this, and then this goes in, and then out. And then this went way too far that way. So let's just fix that. This goes down like that. Jeez. It looks so derpy. All right. I'm gonna wait for that to dry. Actually, maybe I'll start filling in like the bottom with black, and then hopefully by the time that's filled in, I can paint over these parts. I think I'm gonna use purple and pink for like the highlights. I know I want the bright pink for the tongue. Just really want it to stick out, you know. And then maybe I'll do white in here too. I don't really know. Maybe I'll just do like a lighter purple. Maybe I need a little bit of water on. Hi, Tsunami. Thank you. I'm very happy to be back. Oh, that really thinned it out. I just wanted it to spread a little better. Come on. It was kind of like being annoying because it was so dry. The canvas was. Maybe, I mean, I could always add blending gel, but I mean, whatever. We already did it, so we have to live with the consequences. Maybe if I like paint the direction, like with the direction of the fur too, the streaks will make it look a little bit more fur-like before I even add the highlights. So we'll see how that goes. I need to like fill in this patchy area, and also maybe I should flip it upside down because I want to like continue the cat on the edges. So let's do that. It almost looks like a bat from this angle. Okay. Oh, all right. I'm gonna turn on the fan. Get the bottom dry so that I can flip it over. And then I feel like I'm mostly done filling in the black parts. I'm going to work on the tongue and the eyes first, and then I'll fill in the parts that I gotta fill in. All right. How you doing? Yeah, you're good. All right. Okay. So, I got this question from someone when I was on vacation, and I feel like it would be helpful for anyone who would like to start painting or drawing but They just don't know how to pick out colors, right? So I might as well just give a mini lesson while we're waiting for this to dry. So the way that I learned how to judge like what colors go together in values is first I focused on values, right? So I did that by just practicing like with black and white, and by doing that I was able to judge like by mixing the colors, like is this gray lighter or darker than the one? Oh, thank you, honey. This is the fancy water.
Taking it back. Still got me there.
It's nice of Bill.
Hi everybody. Bye everybody.
Um,
We're talking about colors.
yeah, so I started doing that, and by practicing mixing like the grays and, you know, having black as your darkest value and light as your lightest, I feel like it really helped me understand just general painting, you know what I mean? I don't know why that makes sense, but it does. And then once you get that down and you feel confident on that, then you can be a little more confident. You could be like, okay, well, what if instead of black, I have like blue is my darkest color, or purple, right? Or whatever you want. And then you can do like monochrome paintings that way. And then once you feel comfortable with that, then I learned, okay, so paintings and color theory, right? So a lot of the time, paintings will include complementary colors, right? So, and it even has this like in cinema and like photographs and everything. So like, what would be a good example? I don't know. That was horrible. Oh, okay. So like, for example, in this painting, right? I didn't use complementary colors, but I did use something similar. It's like they're like three colors that look good together, and they're purple, green, and yellow, right? So we can see the green, purple, yellow, right? And that goes for blue, red, and yellow. And I'm sure there's other ones that I'm not thinking about. But I feel like sticking to things like that, like complement, or like that blue jay back there, right? The blue and the yellow, and like there's a little bit of orange. Those are like complementary. So I feel like, oh, thank you. I feel like just sticking to a smaller color palette is really, really helpful. And, oh, and then the other thing, hold on, let me put this away real quick. Okay. Oh, so like the blue and the yellow and the pink I used with this one, or not the pink, the red, right? So I know like you can't really see like the yellow so much, but I promise it's in there. So we have the blue, the yellow, and then the pinks, right? And they just like look good. I can't tell you why, it's just magic. So even if it's like mixed in, like what I did with the yellow, I mixed it in with the white, and it still like looks good together. So really, you just have to think like, how do I want to apply this color? Do I want this color to be a highlight? Do I want this color to be like I don't know. I feel like I used like the pink here as like mid-tone almost, and then I had like blues and dark blues for the rest of it, and I feel like it made the painting look that much more better. And I did this one when I was 16, and ever since like I learned this theory of colors and like what looks good together and what doesn't per se, I feel like my art has really changed. And what's another thing? Okay, so something that, I mean, like, I don't know, you don't always have to like stick to it. Like, I don't feel like I stick to it in this one per se, but you know, you still have the idea of like, where is the focal point, right? So because like this background is so much brighter compared to the subject really stands out, right? And I don't always apply that. Like, I don't feel like I did that very well with like, here, I'll pull them out. I don't think I necessarily made this dude stick out so much, but because there's like these like big light colors right here, your eyes go right here, and then everything else is just like a bunch, you know what I mean? So like, I would just think about that too, like how do you want your viewers' eyes to travel, and where do you want them to go? What do you want them to focus on? And when you think about that, it really changes like the way that you would paint something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like okay. And then another thing I would say is like oh, I can talk while I paint. Is, okay, the other question, how do you know what colors, like let's say we have these two colors, right? How do we know which one's darker? You know, a lot of people can take like a photo and put it in black and white. I could, or I could do this, which sounds easier. Or what I like to do is just squint my eyes really hard, and then usually, like once you do that, I don't know why, it's just so much easier. Like, I can tell that this one is darker than this one, even though they're both light colors. You just squint really, really hard, and then you can tell easier what's what. And I feel like as soon as I had that advice, it was just like so much easier for me. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get back to this. Pull up the reference. Let's turn off the fan. All right. I'm gonna go over with purple and cover up these black areas that I kind of messed up on. But that's the beautiful thing about paint. Just cover that shit up. All right. I started my art journey with pencils mostly. And I struggled with that because what brush should I use? Why am I like having decision paralysis? This one's probably fine. What was I just saying? Oh yeah, I started my art journey with pencils and I would like make mistakes, and I feel like it's kind of hard to cover up your mistakes with pencils because like yeah, there's erasers, but how much does it actually erase, you know? I feel like I would also have like a really heavy hand, so it would make it that much harder to actually get rid of my mistakes. And then even if I spent like a long time on that piece, I would always be frustrated because you can still see the, what's it called? The lines that I erased. And like, yeah, right now you can still see a little bit of the black under it, but it's, I mean, it's okay. You can just layer it, you know? I'd rather do that and have it go away eventually than erase and erase and erase and have it still be there. You know what I mean? It's really frustrating. I feel like that's fine. And then on this side, went out a little bit, and then it went in. I'm gonna fix the eye placement too. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I definitely need to fix this side. Maybe I can just like do this. Give it a little more shape that it has. It's a goofy little cat. Maybe the head goes up a little too much. I feel like that looks more normal, even though it looks really funny right now. And then, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that right now. All right. I'm gonna turn I just want to keep messing with it. Okay. There's like thick chunks right here. Oh no! Look at it! Ugh! Let me fix that. No! Jeez. I don't know why I keep touching it. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna wait for it to dry before I keep going. I just end up finger painting. I'm just like, ugh, do what I want. Okay. Let's let that dry. right. Let me think. I don't know. I was trying to think of like something I could talk about. Something I would consider when you're creating portraits. I took a photography class once, and something that they taught was the rule of thirds. So you know how on your camera there's this grid where there's 3 squares, and a square in the middle, so you know what I mean. The rule of thirds is used a lot by painters and photographers because that's where your eye gets drawn to for some reason. So, for example, let me get a notebook out so I can show you guys. Okay. So let's say, oh my God, a terrible square. Let me try that again. The lines weren't even parallel. All right. So let's say inside this square is your picture, right? And then I'm going to use the light blue for where the grid would be. So oh my God. Okay. So if you're following the rule of thirds, you would like the subject to be in these particular places, right? So either on a line, on any of these lines, or in a corner will be good. Or you could do in any of these rows, right? So if the subject isn't hitting any of these, for some reason, our eye just does not like it as much. So when I was trying to figure out, okay, where do I place this cat? I'm trying to think rule of thirds, okay, 1, 2, 3. If the eyes are right here, it will be on this line, right? So, you know what I mean? I'm just always trying to consider that when I'm thinking of composition. Brains are so weird. They're just yeah, we just want it to look nice in this particular mathematical way. So, it doesn't have to be a square. It could be a rectangle, but I would still consider, okay, so if it were a rectangle shot for canvas, let's do this. They would look something more like this, right? And even though it's longer, these squares are kind of more apart. The corners are in a bit different spots than they would be if it were in a square. It still applies. And same thing if it were a circle, right? So if you had a circle, you literally have to be okay, how do we divide this circle into thirds? Which, isn't that insane? You have to think about that. It's the worst sometimes. This is so not perfect. But, I mean, it's a little off, you can tell. But you know what I mean? Like, even then, you still want it to follow those rules. And I feel like as soon as I learned that, both my photo taking and my composition, like on my on my stuff, it's just improved significantly. So if you didn't know that, now you know. I feel like it's something that I talk about a lot with like people around me, and they're like, rule of thirds, what are you talking about? But yeah, it's very, very useful. Yay, it's dry. All right. So, you know, I've never actually painted a black cat before. So this is going to be interesting. You know what? Maybe, okay. I am just going to do the parts that I know how to do first, because I feel like that's going to be the easiest thing to do. And something else I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the places that I want the pink to be with white, because there's kind of like black covering these areas, and if I just put the pink right on top of it, then some of the black would show through, and we don't want that. So we're going to do this. Or if I really wanted to, I could put like the purple back on there, but waste time for that, right? Let's just do this. All right, and then I want to use a round brush for the eyes. And also for the people who are like, I don't know what brush to use. How do I know what brush? Oh man, I need to fix this area, but first I'll stick the eye in there. I would say, for the brush question, experiment. Really. Some people find it's easier to do what they do with round brushes, and some people find it's easier with flat brushes. But I will say, if you're using watercolor, using a brush with a bunch of bristles is the best way to go. I had a watercolor for a little bit, and it was really hard for me, to be honest. And I did use the wrong brushes for a long time. And then I was like, oh, they need to be thick? Oh, that makes so much sense. You know what I mean? So sometimes they're just things that you feel stupid for not even thinking of. But I feel like it's better just to bring them up and just be like, this will make your life easier, instead of like shaming people for not knowing something. Yeah. All right, let's get this tongue. Silly looking cat. All right. I want to put the highlighted areas where they go, because I feel like if I do that, it'll be less daunting to me for some reason. Oh, also, you know, some people act like there are certain steps to things, which I mean, there are sometimes, but if you find a way that works for you and you have fun doing it that way, and your brain, no, are you serious? Okay, it's fine. I can just paint over it. And it's because I'm resting my hand on it. I know it. But like, if you find it works best for you, just like do whatever you want. Like, I know there are like art teachers or whatever that are gonna tell you that I don't know what I'm talking about, but I just feel like if it makes sense in your brain, good. Like, that's all that matters, is that it makes sense to you and that you like how it looks, right? So it's your art. Yeah. All right. And you know what? There's like highlights up here anyway. So I'm just gonna put some in like that. And then I don't know. I know I need to fix some areas still, so maybe I'll go back with the purple and do that. Yeah, let's do this. I feel like I got the perspective a little bit off, but you know what? We can always fix it. All right. How did I get black on this? I don't understand. I was in the white paint. Okay. Brush is clean. Let's go back in, fix the outsides. Okay. So I feel like maybe part of it has to do with the ears. And this for sure is not like that. This goes out a little bit actually. And the ear is more like this. It's way smaller than I had it, but whatever. Just cover it up like it never happened. All right, and then this ear also has to be adjusted. Ugh, okay. So I feel like the placement is good, but I don't think it goes nearly as high as I made it, and also the direction is different. I think it's more like this. Yeah, I think that's more correct. And then this is like that. Okay. Beautiful. And then the skull is definitely shorter than what I made it out to be. There's like this funny bump in the skull, which kind of want to keep in there because guy's a little bumpy. It's a little goof. All right. And maybe I want this, I don't know. Maybe it's a fat cat. I don't know. I don't know why it goes out so much. Maybe it would be more like that. That makes more sense in my head. All right. I just want you guys to know that it's not a big deal if you have to go back and fix stuff. I feel like painters always have to go back and adjust things and make it just how they want it. And I feel like, it's not at all a straight line. Whatever. I'll just go back later. It's fine. I feel like that's my favorite part about paint is it doesn't have to be permanent if you don't want it to be. This, okay, so it goes up and then there's like, such a point. All right. Cool. Cute. Okay. And something else I would say is if you're watching this and you're saying to yourself, I can't paint, that is a load of BS. I believe that anyone can paint, and all it takes is practice and joy. And without those two things, yes, of course you can't paint. You're not practicing and you also don't like it. Why would you be good at it? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you have to find joy in the mistakes, and you have to just, like, I don't know, for me it's like a puzzle, but a puzzle I only want to do once. Like, I saw this post the other day. I'm just going to let this dry a second. I saw this post the other day, and it was like the difference between like crafters and like painters or, you know, traditional artists or whatever, where you just make one image and you call it done, is so crafters want to do the puzzle over and over and over again, and they like doing that, whereas painters and things of that nature want to do the puzzle once and never touch it again. And I feel like I really resonated with that. I'm like, yes, it's over. I never have to paint it again. I'm gonna call it good. Like I tried doing animation at one point, and the real struggle for me was just drawing the same thing over and over. And for some reason, I got more frustrated with it than I was enjoying it. So I don't know. I just thought maybe it's not for me. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna put a little bit of paint on my finger and fix these little splotchy bits on the side because for some reason it's bothering me. Yeah, all right. Are there any on this side? Let's see. I could just make it match, right? All right. But also the other thing I would say is don't take art too seriously and don't take yourself too seriously. Because as soon as you do that, you're not going to be having fun. And yeah, I mean, you can take practicing seriously. You can take like your schedule seriously, like how much you want to be, how many times a week or a month or whatever you want to actually do this kind of stuff. But you know, if you're just sitting there and you're like, man, I just want this to be absolutely perfect, it's never going to happen and you're going to hate it. Oh, that's cool. You recreate your old paintings? Man, I wish I had the drive to do that. Although I feel like it would be fun to like see how you've improved. But I feel like if I personally would do that, I would just be like trying to make it look so similar to the other painting that it no longer looks good. Yeah. Okay. I feel like I need to fix the eyes a little bit. Let's get some black on a brush. It's the brush I was using before. Just get that water out of there so it's not all thinned out. I gotta blow my nose real quick. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Some black on the brush. And I feel like, maybe the eye's a little bit lower, it looks like. So we can do this. We can make that a little bit rounder like that. And I don't know. Maybe I'm making a mistake. But, and then we can raise this and have this be a little bit shorter. I feel like it does that. That to me looks more like the reference. All right. Maybe I think I'll make this ear a little bigger though, and a little bit more. Oh, I just touched it. Touched it. I just touched the wet paint. All right. Just make it a little bit bigger, a little bit rounder. I like it. All right. And then the head, it's a little flat. I feel like it goes like this. Okay. That looks more correct. And then this has a little puff that comes out. And I feel like the face goes this way a little bit. Maybe not that much. Oh. I feel like I overdo sometimes. Maybe it'll look more correct if I fill this part in. Okay, because I mean, this has to be black anyway, because I'm going to be adding the highlights, and how can I do that if they're not the right color? I don't know. I feel like I need the color underneath. And then it might also help with like the look of the shape. I'm gonna keep that like that because I think that's kind of cute. And I need to highlight there anyway. And maybe I'll keep this line too, but I'm gonna fill in this. This kind of like goes over this eye. Okay, cool. And we're gonna go back over. I don't know, I feel like I have to. Cool. And now we can color in the whatever. Okay, let's get some pink on there. It's probably enough for right now. Just got a little bit, will be enough. And we're gonna do this. I want the tongue and the eyes to be the focal point of this painting. I'm thinking I want to do like purple highlights on the fur. And then on the background, I could do like light purples for like the texture. I guess I might have needed to go over the white again, because I can still see the black on either. Whatever, we'll do what we can do. Like this is dry. I don't know why I couldn't add some fun texture for the fur. Okay. But does the face look how I want it to look? I think I made it go out a little far. I think I have to go back and fix it again. There. That's all I needed to do. Just take out that little line. All right, cute. And then let's put some purple in where the ears are and define the insides of the ear. But you see how it's a little darker because I didn't put white on top of it first. I mean, I don't mind it right there because the color is kind of a little bit darker. But yeah, all right. Cool. Okay. I'll take out this little thing right there. And then what should I do? I could put the little dark spots for the nose. I mean, it's not exactly the same. I think maybe I should have made the nose a little bit higher, a little bit over more. But you know what? I think I can live with it. I think it's gonna be fine. I feel like that's just me being picky. All right. Clean out the brush. Dry it on some paper towel. Okay. We're an hour and 23 minutes in, and I say we're like almost done. So that's good because I'm tired. What brush do I want to use for like a fur texture? Maybe I can do that thing where I make like a bunch of little strokes. I feel like those are fun. Making this part of the ears a bit lighter. Maybe I'm overdoing it. I don't know. Can always cover it up. Oh, that was a thick line. Yeah. Talking about printers. All right. I'm adding these like, they're almost like light bubbles, circles, things right here, because like when you're thinking about how to color or shade an eye, there's always like this, where there's always the shadow, right? Especially where the eyelid is. And if you just ignore that, then your eyes are going to look a lot flatter. I think I'm gonna fix that. The eye actually, I think it's bugging me too much. So how I'm gonna fix it is put this brush away, get out my black. Hopefully it's fine. And I'm going to make it more round. Okay. Maybe I'll take some white, put it like up there, and then like when that dries, and then it'll be more like a bubbly shape. This is what I really want. I want this. Yes, I have it in my head of how it would work out. It's just actually doing it. All right, and then for these bits, I'm gonna take the purple. Maybe I should mix it with some white, so it's a light purple for the highlights. I should make a lot of it. Okay, now we have this light purple. And we're gonna just go over these areas. Oh, geez. Okay. This is gonna be pretty blacky. But, you know, if anything, it's just helpful because then I can, like, think of it as, like, shapes, you know, are less like individual hairs and more just like groups of hair. All right, and now, I want to make sure doing pretty thin lines for this. And I'm going to continue these lines out here. You know what? I'm going to get some black on my brush and cover up some spots that I really do think I added way too much. So I'm just going to go over this. Good. All right. Let's do this. I'm gonna try to go over these white bits. Oh, decently. Cat's looking goofy. All right. There's way too much happening right there. I think I'm gonna get black and cover some stuff up. Maybe it's too wet still. I want too much water in my brush. Alrighty. Might as well just add a line right there. So there's a little lighter. All right. Okay, let's add some pink. Well, I guess the white did a good job covering the whatever, but it didn't add the lighter color that I wanted, so I'm gonna mix some white and some pink together, and I'm gonna make that color right now. Oh, I don't like when these hairs go rogue and then they can like mess with your painting. on a different brush. This brush is too predictable for me. Okay. Nose. Nose, nose, nose. For the highlight, I'm actually using the lightest purple that I used. So, yeah. Maybe I'll use just a little bit of it on the tongue. Shoot. Like it never happened. All right, now I'm gonna do the background. I think I'm gonna use this palette knife. I need to make some more of that light purple. I need to get a little bit more purple on there. I'm not going to use any pink in the background because I really want the pink to stand out. And then I can do like a mid-tone purple too, just to add variation. I feel like you can't really tell the difference though. There, how's that? All right, and I'm gonna wipe it off and get some of the original purple, just moving around on the canvas. And yeah, if I show it layering on top of what I already got, it's gonna make it look cool, I feel like. All right. All right, that looks cool. I don't like this chunk. There we go. Coolio. All right. What do we name this cat? Oh, wait, I'm not done. I need to add the whiskers. The whiskers. What color? I want the whiskers to be. Maybe. I feel like making them a light purple color would be cool. Maybe it's because it's on this side. What am I doing? feel like that's cute. All right, now we're done. Let's sign it. Okay. Okay. Did it. Let's write some stuff on the back. How long did that take? 209. What should the name be? What should the name be? To me, he looks like a sour grape. I think it's sour grape. Okay. I just touched some wet paint. All right. So this is a 10-inch by 8-inch, 2 hours, 9 mins, and sour grape. Okay. And we could draw like a little kitty paw. That's cute. I like that. All right. There's my thingy. I gotta put this pen away. Okay. We're gonna get a sour grape close up. Ooh. Here is sour grape, the kitty cat. Little goober. All right. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I hope you learned a lot today, and I will be here. I switched my date to Tuesdays instead of Mondays. And yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much. See ya. 6 p.m. EST if you want to join for the next recording. All right. Bye.